Alright. Yeah! What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but we back. We back, y'all. We back with episode 20. I can't believe we made it so far. So technically it's not 20 episodes. We missed 3 people, but it's all good. I'm gonna get to those 3 people. But today, guys, I have episode 20. Special guest today. I have Nana today, all the way from the West Coast. Super excited about that. But before we begin, you guys already know that this video is sponsored by Nlime, baby. You guys see it right here. You guys see the merch. Go to my website, nlimenyc.com. Check out my Instagram, nlimenyc. Check out my YouTube, Nlime TV. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Let's do this. Woo! I'm super pumped. Hey,
Hello.
why do I see you like another direction?
Probably because my phone is charging, but it's good. I didn't want
Okay.
it to die while we were live.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
good. How was your day?
It was good. I'm happy it's almost Friday.
I know, right? It's like some weeks it goes by fast, and then some weeks is like super slow.
I know. But as soon as you get to Thursday, you're like, all right, the weekend's only one day away.
So you're in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Bay
So
Area.
how was the weather today there?
It's about 90 degrees, way too hot. Like I'm ready for sweater weather.
Wow. Okay. I'm here in New York, and it's been raining a lot lately. So yeah,
Please don't give me your rain. I don't want the rain. I just want cooler weather.
it just went from like hot to like cold. Like there was no in between. Like
Yeah, Mother Nature is angry with us.
I know. But yeah, let's tell everybody a little bit about yourself, like your name and who you are, what do you do, and
Okay, yeah. So my name is Nana, but most everybody calls me Hella, hence the username. I was born and raised in the Bay Area. I worked sneaker retail for over a decade before I decided it was time to get a grown-up job. And so now I'm an accountant for a cancer research center.
for a cancer research center.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you like your job?
It's okay. I this might sound weird because most people don't like numbers, they don't like math, but I work with spreadsheets and numbers all day, every day, and I love it. I didn't think I'd find myself in the medical field, but I feel like um, in our generation, cancer is becoming more prevalent. So I feel like even though I'm working on the finance end of it, like part of what I do helps the success of what my company does, which is cancer research. And we work with a group of doctors that are all specialists for all kinds of different cancers.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really great. So you said you before having this job, you said you worked in the retail with like sneakers, right?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So is that where like your like love and passion grew for like sneakers, or was it
Um,
like way before that, like when you were like a kid, like?
so I had a best friend in elementary school who was an only child at the time, so he was spoiled and he had every single new Jordan. He had it the day it came out, and he always had new shoes, but the shoes specifically that I remember that I loved but never owned was the Jordan Chutney 13 Low. And I had a chance to get it when it released recently, but it just wasn't something that I knew that I would wear. And it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I need this in my collection because it's the shoe that made me fall in love with shoes. But that shoe specifically is the one that made me fall in love with sneakers.
That's funny because I sold that shoe like over the summer, and not the re-release, the original one. I sold it over the summer.
Wow.
Like I didn't want to sell it, but like it was already like a small size. Because in
Okay.
high school, I was like a smaller size. I was
Yeah.
thinner, so it was a smaller size. But like, I didn't want to get rid of it because it's like an OG shoe,
Hmm.
right? And like,
Yeah.
just the quality of it, and like, I don't know. I used to love wearing it like in high school, and I was in
Hmm.
high school in 2008, so like nobody had them.
Yeah.
So um, it's funny that you bring up that shoe because that shoe like means like a lot to me. So that's cool.
Yeah, I really thought about it, and I was like, if you're a collector, right? It's something that should belong in my collection, but for me, it's just not a color palette that I would actually wear. And so I can love the shoe, but I don't have to own it. And everybody thinks it's funny when I tell this story that I don't own it, and even when I had a chance to get it, it wasn't something that I knew that I'd wear, so I didn't grab it.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what's like your favorite brand when it comes to like sneakers?
Um, so I don't necessarily have a favorite brand. I have pretty much a shoe from every brand you can possibly think of, but a majority of my collection is Nike and Jordan brands. So I feel like it would be wrong for me not to say Nike and Jordan. But I think that each brand that I do have has a specific place within the sneaker culture and the sneaker community. Adidas obviously has the shell toes and all of those classics, and then I my sneaker retail actually started at Vans, so I have probably 200 pairs of Vans, if not more. And that's because I worked there and we got a discount. And so I just like getting shoes from all different brands. I'm not really a brand loyalist.
So if you have only 200 Vans, how many do you have altogether?
The last time I counted, I had just over 450, but that was 2021, end of 2021.
So
So
you're probably like at six right now.
maybe five, maybe
Maybe
pushing a
five.
little over five. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean,
It's
that's
easy for me because I have a smaller foot. I know it's harder for men to have that many pairs of shoes unless they've been collecting their entire lives. So I get a little bit lucky with my size. And I can fit grade school seven and men's seven, so I kind of have the best of both worlds.
you have that size.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know sometimes, yeah, it is cheaper, but sometimes it is expensive for certain shoes.
Yeah, I've
So
noticed a lot of the women's releases are just as much as men releases, if not a little bit more. So, it's not like I get a price break on them. And even if I get grade school, some of them are still up there in price.
yeah, that's crazy. So I mean, I think it's that time to show everybody your top 10, top 5, whatever you pulled out.
Okay, so to start with, this is my holy
Woo!
grail. But it's also a top five, and I tell this story all the time that how I got these was I was working at Vans at the time, and there was like a mom and pop like sneaker store. They don't really have them anymore in the Bay Area, but it was right next to Vans, and I just so happened to get these. They were just sitting there in my size. I missed those days, but now they're like falling apart,
Is
and I can't.
what year release was that?
This is the '09
Okay,
release.
okay,
Yeah,
yes.
so um I'm definitely gonna need two pairs when these re-release. But definitely a holy grail and one of my top five. It's also one of my top three silhouettes. Favorite silhouettes is the 12. So there's
So that shoe right there is your holy grail.
mm-hmm.
Oh my God,
I'm pretty
that's
sure this was the
crazy.
first shoe I bought with my own hard-earned money. Like before, I'm the youngest in the family, so all of my older siblings were the ones buying my shoes, but these were the first ones that I bought with my own money.
Yeah, and I sold those like last year too, cause
No.
the OG can you believe it? And like, but again, they were like a small size, and they started to like, where the Jumpman is like crumbling,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, I'd rather just get money before it like falls apart totally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it was still like the OG, the leather on the OG. Oh my god,
Even the
it's just
leather
like,
on this is really good.
yeah, yeah. Even like back like anything like I feel like anything before like 2010, 2012 was like just now they're just dropping the ball on material right
Oh
now.
yeah, for sure. The last good, to me, the last good 12 releases were in 2016, and at the time I was working at Champs, and I kid you not, I purchased every single pair of 12s that released that year. Yeah.
What?
I mean, it was easy because I was working for Champs and I had seniority when it came to getting your employee pairs. So it was literally a no-brainer. It's like one of my top five silhouettes. And I miss those years where they focused on retroing one silhouette in different colorways. Like 2016 was just a good year for shoes in general, but definitely for the 12s. But
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
like they're doing that right now with like the tools. Like I like the tools, but they're just
Hmm.
overdoing it.
Yeah,
Like,
I like some of the colorways, and I really like how the twos look on my feet, but I didn't like them until I got the Chicago pair. And I was like, oh, I kind of like the way that these look. So I bought a couple more pairs. But yeah, I think when you saturate a silhouette like that, it kind of becomes unloved again, if that makes any sense. But yeah,
yeah, I feel like in general, like it doesn't get the tool doesn't get much love.
no, no,
Like it's
unless
everybody's
you
stuck on the
collab it with
one.
like Union.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But even the union tools are like going like for like under retail. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
now they are, yeah. Or the
Yeah.
Amanier twos.
Oh, but nah, those are fire.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
You have those?
I don't. I wasn't able to
Oh,
get
okay,
them in my
okay.
size. I wish. I have the 12s though.
Which ones?
Both.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
both? Is
yeah.
there one that you like more than the other?
Um, I definitely like the way that the white and the burgundy looks better together than the black and the burgundy, but I know that the black and burgundy was probably a little more popular.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I maybe. I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm not sure to be honest. I only have the black one, but I don't have the white one. I never seen them in person.
the black one that actually got on sale on Nike. They were just sitting and Nike was having like their, I don't know, 25% off, and so those just happened to come up with the code, so I was like, "Oh, I definitely need to get these."
That's true. That's true. A lot of small sizes do sit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, in general, a lot of shoes are sitting like the
Oh
fives, the
yeah. The
sevens.
ones, there's a ton of ones that were sitting on Nike. And then I recently went to the mall in San Jose. It's like one of the biggest malls in the Bay Area, and pretty much every shoe store I went to had releases that were just sitting full size runs. And I don't know if it's maybe inflation and just the market and people can't really afford to get shoes like they used to, but they were definitely sitting.
No, I just feel like they just keep release.
Mm,
Like they just keep dropping shoes every week.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
colors that don't even make sense that will sit for like the full size one will sit.
Hmm.
Like just stuff that doesn't make sense. And it's just like it's going straight to the outlet.
Oh
Like
yeah.
yeah,
And we have so many outlets in the Bay Area too. So,
yeah.
hmm,
There's a lot of them.
yeah. And they're kind of like in the same area too. So, um, but a lot of people drive up to the one in that's right outside of LA. It's like maybe a 3, 4 hour drive from where I'm at. And it honestly, it's worth the drive because you can find a lot of stuff that's really cheap there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the second one, this is my first favorite silhouette of the Jordan is the 11, but top five obviously has to be the Bread 11. These are my first original pair, and I do have two more pairs that they released, but these are still wearable, so I have the other two just on ice. But I feel like if you should have one shoe in your collection, just in general, not you don't have to love shoes, but you should definitely have these because you can dress them up, you can dress them down. I call them my rain boots. I wear them during the rainy season all the time, but definitely a silhouette I feel like everybody needs in their collection.
Solid. One of the best shoes of all time.
Oh, I definitely agree. The next pair might be kind of
And colorway. And colorway.
oh yeah,
That
a
colorway is
red colorway is gonna do you good in any Jordan
I
silhouette.
love that colorway, and always as a kid, like the cool gray, like
Oh
those
yeah,
two.
my
Like,
my cool grays are sitting right there.
yeah.
And I actually don't have another pair of the cool grays. This is my only pair. I haven't been able to get any of the re-releases. So those are those are
So,
trash
so you
that I
usually like double up on shoes?
yeah, well those these cool grays are not wearable anymore.
Okay.
This is yellowing right here, like super yellowing, and they just don't feel as comfortable anymore.
Yeah.
But I keep them just because I'm a huge nostalgia person, and I feel like if I were to ever get rid of those, I'd be really sad. I feel the same way about these because they're falling apart, and I refuse to get rid of them or sell
So,
them.
do you
Um,
ever plan on restoring them, or no? You just keeping it like
no, the cool grays definitely not because I know that I can easily get a pair even on the resale market for under retail right now in my size. I just really haven't pulled the trigger on them. But for these, I feel like they'll go in a case and I'll probably not touch them anymore. Um, I think just because this shoe means so much to me in my journey, and I feel like I could probably sell them for a good profit because a lot of people like to just have the shoe. They don't care if it's their size or not. But when something means that much to you, you're just kind of like, there's no price value that I could put on this that would make me get rid of it, even if I can't wear it and it's falling apart.
nice, nice, nice.
But the next shoe in my top five is a
Ooh.
LeBron, and um, you don't see girls in the sneaker community who go for these basketball type of shoes. I do know a few of them, and I love them to death. But these are the LeBron Fairfax 7. Um, I have a huge LeBron collection, probably like 80 to 100 pairs. But this is definitely a top five for me. I think if I had to get rid, I say this all the time, if I had to get rid of all of my LeBrons, this would be the only one that I would keep.
So, what's that colorway
The
called? The
Fairfax.
Fairfax.
Yeah.
Those are hard. What year did
And
those drop?
these dropped a couple years ago. This is a 2021 release or
I
production date.
like the
But
color.
yeah, this was a retro or a re-release of actually no, this was a PE and then they released it as a general release.
Yeah, those are hard.
And
Yeah,
it definitely
I don't
gives
think I've ever met a girl with LeBrons. Honestly.
yeah, I have um I'm a huge Warriors fan and um Curry started coming out with his Under Armour shoes when I was working for Champs, so it's kind of like a tradition of mine to buy one pair of each number that he has come out with. And so I have one pair of every single shoe that he's ever come out with. The number. So I have one, two, three. I do have multiples in some of the silhouettes, but honestly his shoes are hella comfortable. It's just, they're not hype and people usually don't really pay attention to them when they're on your feet, but it's just kind of
You
one
talking
of
about
those.
the Curry shoes?
Steph Curry,
Are,
yeah, they're his Under Armour shoes.
are they still like? Is he still dropping
hmm
shoes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe he's starting to retro some of his older silhouettes. I know that he came out with some twos recently that have already released. So I think kind of going back to the shoes that he started with, the same that LeBron is doing. Still coming out with, his 20s. LeBron just came out with his 20s, and I believe he's coming out with a 21, if I'm not mistaken. But he went back to his older silhouettes, which I love because I wasn't really into basketball shoes like that when he was first coming out with them. But definitely a huge LeBron fan. But fourth on my list is the UNC Sixes.
Oh,
And I
okay, okay.
definitely think anything UNC I will go for because I love the colorway. I'm not even gonna lie and say that I'm a fan. I just really like the colorway. But definitely top five worthy in my opinion, especially the quality on these grade school sizes don't always get the best quality in sixes, but these ones were really good quality.
Facts, facts. You,
And lastly, is going to be the Puerto Rico Air Max ones. And I just feel like when you are able to mix your culture with a sneaker culture, like you can't really beat that. So
fire. Those are
definitely has
so
to throw it in my
fire.
top five.
Those are so fire. Are you Puerto Rican? You're Puerto
Yeah,
Rican?
I'm half Puerto
Half
Rican, half
Puerto.
Hawaiian.
Oh, half Puerto Rican, half Hawaiian.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Wow,
yeah.
that's dope. I love that. Those are and Air Maxes are just so
Oh yeah,
comfortable.
those are one of the most comfortable shoes that I have.
Yeah. Have you been to Puerto Rico?
No, I haven't yet.
Have you been
My
to? Oh,
my
wow.
family that is Puerto Rican are transplants to Hawaii during the hurricane, like many generations. And so I always tell people that my Hawaii or my Puerto Rican side are Puerto Ricans that are from Hawaii, which is crazy how, my parents met and they're my dad's family and my mom's family are actually from the same area. It's just my parents met in California. And so yeah, I definitely plan to visit Puerto Rico though. I definitely have to see part of where I'm from.
Have you been to
Oh
Hawaii?
yeah, many
Yeah.
times. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, I need to go out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You might not want to come back, but it is expensive out there.
Oh yeah, I could
Yeah,
imagine. I could imagine.
it's super
But
expensive.
I mean, I don't think I would want to like stay like in a resort. I would want to be like more like
Like
I don't know.
maybe in an Airbnb type thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
something like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that would be cheaper, right?
Y-
Or,
yes and no. I've done both. I've experienced both. I've even stayed with family out there, which is also an experience. But the resort gives you more of like the touristy, learn about the island, learn about the area that you're in, luau type experiences. But staying in an Airbnb, you kind of have the freedom to explore as you would like. You just don't kind of get the history in the background. So I definitely would suggest doing both, maybe not at the same time, but you get a little bit of the history when you go to a resort because they like to share their culture. They're very open about sharing their culture and stuff like that.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. This is like kind of off topic.
Hmm.
I know we were talking about like wrestling and stuff. How did you get into
Hmm.
wrestling again?
Oh, I was basically born and raised in wrestling and at the time it was WWF and that is an era we will never get back and I'm so sorry for the people and the kids who were born later who don't get to experience that. But I I I'm pretty sure my dad was a wrestling fan when he was a kid, but it was him watching it, my brothers watching it, that got me and my sister into it. And we've been to many events, met many wrestlers, The Rock, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels was one of my favorites, The Undertaker.
So if you
Um,
had to name like a top five, like of all time wrestlers, like who would you have on that list? Top five.
mm, I would say top five would be, and in no particular order, but definitely Stone Cold, Bret Hart, um, Undertaker, um, Shawn Michaels, and then Goldberg was one of my favorites.
Ooh, she brought out the Goldberg at the
Yeah.
end. Okay.
I feel
Cause
like
you watch
wrestling
AEW
now isn't
too.
the same though. Yeah, I definitely watch AEW.
Fire. But like if you had to compare right now, presently, currently,
Hmm
2023, AEW versus WWE, what's better?
Um, I would say still WWE, but from what I've noticed, a lot of the wrestling on AEW is more less showy, less storyline, more actual sportsmanship and athleticism, if that makes sense. They're not so much about, a storyline or, trying to get views or anything like that. And I think that's what I like. I feel like WWE now is kind of a soap opera with a little bit of athleticism, but it works for them now, especially with I feel like the age range on what they're trying to focus on, it makes sense, but I feel like AEW is definitely like a adult wrestling. Like mostly adults watch it, but I know kids watch it as well.
Yo, AEW is crazy.
Yeah.
I saw the video game, and the video game is
I
crazy
I know my brother was telling me about it.
with like the matches, and it's like you
It's
can't do that.
definitely more athletic and about the actual wrestling, if that makes sense. WWE is not the same way.
Facts, I feel you.
Yeah,
Somebody
you're definitely there for the drama when you watch WWE.
somebody put no Triple H. Damn. Ah,
No, not it. Honestly,
I put him in my
you know
top
what?
20.
Oh, definitely, I agree. But he was the villain growing up, and like
Exactly.
he was always the villain while I was growing up.
Always.
You know what I mean? And so I was never about the villain, but even like when my favorite wrestlers would become the villain, I'd be like, man, I don't like you as much. But I missed the era of that wrestling so much, and I would love it if they had, because the WWE network does have a lot of the older stuff, but not the good stuff in my opinion.
They have stuff that they don't have everything on there.
No, not from what I have seen, and I haven't watched the WWE network in a long time, so don't quote me on that. They could have added everything, but there's a lot of like older stuff that isn't on there.
Yeah, I mean now they have like they connected their thing to like Peacock, so
Mhm.
there's like on Peacock and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so let's get back to the shoes. So if you had to design your own shoe, what shoe would it be like from scratch, or you would base it off of existing silhouette?
I think it would be fun to do it from scratch. It's very hard to create something from scratch these days in my just that's just in my opinion, because when you look at a general silhouette of most shoes, it all kind of starts the same way. You know what I mean? But for me, I would want to design either a Jordan 11 or a Jordan 12.
A high,
I
high top?
definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not a low top 11. Well, I do have low top 11s, but I don't gravitate towards that, the low top silhouette in the 11s or the 12s. I do have one pair of 12 lows, but that's it.
And would you do something that is like all one color with like different materials or like different colors?
Honestly, I would focus on the quality of the materials before I thought about colors, because I know that color a lot of the time does affect the quality of the material that you're picking. So it honestly would depend on that. Like, I wouldn't want to create something that's super colorful but not quality. So I would definitely look at the quality of whatever materials I had at my disposal versus colors.
Okay. And what are some? I know you said that you primarily have like Nike and Jordans.
Hmm
What are some other brands besides that that you say you have? You say you have Adidas.
Yeah, I have Adidas, I have some Reebok question and answers. Those were definitely the silhouette of my time while I was in elementary and junior high school. I have some Pumas, um, SBs. I have a ton of Kyries, and of course I'm naming off Nike, but what else do I have? I have Under Armours, of course. Um, I call it Saucony's. A lot of people call it Saucony. But in the Bay Area, we call it Saucony's. So sorry if that bothers you. Um, what else? I really love the NMDs. Those are one of the most comfortable shoes that I own, and of course, Vans. I love Vans. I have a pair of Diodoras.
Diodoras.
hmm
Wow.
I'm trying to think of what other brands I have. I have a ton. I
Wow.
just
The
I just like shoes,
versatility.
so I just get whatever.
The versatility.
Oh yeah, I feel like I love when somebody has a niche in the sneaker community. So I know somebody who has mostly, if not all, Jordan 1s, and I know other people focus on just LeBrons. But for me, I like a little bit of everything, so I try to get um, whatever I want at the time that I want it and see it. A lot of the times, if it's visually appealing to me, I'll just kind of grab it if I can. Um, but I feel like all shoes deserve some type of love, even if you buy them on sale.
Have you copped anything this year?
The last shoes that I actually copped were the N7 Dunks. They took a while to get to me. But the only other shoe, honestly, that I wanted this year were the Born X Raised Dunks, which totally took an L on. Might just have to bite the bullet and get them on resale, but those were the only shoes that I can think of at this point that I really wanted. Anything else, I was just kind of gonna pass up on until they released the Cherry 12s.
So
So,
besides the Cherry 12s, anything else you looking forward to this year, or?
um, no, not that I can think of. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine, and we wanted a couple pairs of the twos that we were talking about, but we're waiting for them to go on sale. Um, if they're sitting now, I just don't feel like I should pay full price for them. I'll just kind of wait or go to an outlet and grab them. Um, but twos are a favorite silhouette that I've gotten into this year. Um, once you have as many pairs of shoes as I have, and you realize that a lot of them are dead stock, you're just kind of like, okay, it's getting out of hand now. You got to kind of pull back and just kind of get what you feel is necessary for your collection. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. Like you said, they release a new freaking shoe every week. Like, the eights are pretty nice. I'm probably not gonna go for them. But I would like those in that specific shoe in my collection. I just don't feel like I need it right now.
That colorway,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
play.
I have uh other pairs of eights in my collection, but I feel like I need that colorway in my collection eventually.
Yeah, facts. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like sneakers or
I
shoes?
would say it would be um preposterous if I didn't say a 10 because I have so many shoes, but I think I just love the sneaker culture in general. I like ever since coming to Instagram, and I initially only created my Instagram because of shoes. And at the time I was working at Champs, and I didn't know that the community that I'm in now was even here. And I've gone to so many sneaker cons and traveled and met so many people in the sneaker community, and I just love what everybody brings to it. And um, for me, it's not really about how many shoes that I actually own. It's just a love for the culture in general. And so it's definitely a 10 for me.
I feel you. How about wrestling? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love wrestling?
I'd say right now we're probably at like a 6, sometimes a 7. I do get really excited when they have like their events, their pay-per-views and stuff like that. But if you would have asked me like when I was a kid, I would literally beg my dad to take us to any type of event that wrestling would have in the Bay Area. WCW, WWF at the time, it really didn't even matter. I just wanted to go see them live.
I know the Attitude Era was like the
Oh
best.
yeah, Generation X, all that.
Oh my God. Nah, I mean, me was always The Rock. Like, I was always like, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock. Like,
Yes. He created something that was so different from what everybody else was doing at the time. And then when he grew into his acting career, you just kind of saw who he was as a whole. A lot of the times we only see these people as wrestlers. And then, they branch out and they do other things. Like Stone Cold has a podcast, he's done many shows. But you just, I think that shows you that even though you do a career as an entertainer, you don't have to stick to one thing. You can branch out. And sometimes it's successful and sometimes it's not, because there are some wrestlers who did some acting that was not that great. John Cena.
John Cena?
He's not a great actor, not
Oh,
in my
okay. I thought you
opinion.
said actor. I thought because wrestling
Oh
wise,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that guy's a beast.
Oh yeah. Just he should stick to wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah. But you know what? I actually like that movie with Jackie Chan.
I didn't see that movie.
You didn't see it? I think it's on Netflix or some stream platform.
Okay,
It was
I'm gonna
pretty
have to
good.
watch it and see how
It
good
was
his
probably because it
acting
was
is.
Jackie Chan. You know, Jackie Chan.
Maybe,
You
yeah.
could never, you could never go wrong with Jackie Chan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if I missed any other questions. Do you know if I missed any questions?
Nope.
Did I get
You pretty
them
much
all?
covered them all. Yeah, you did.
I got them all.
Hmm.
Well, this was awesome. I had such a good time.
Thank you for having me.
Um, no, thank you for like being on my show. I really appreciate it. I had such a good time. Thank you for showing me the versatility of your collection. I'm just like you. I have a little bit of everything. Just like you, primarily
Hmm.
Jordans, but I love a little bit of everything, and that's the beauty of like sneakers. Like you can love like any different like
Hmm.
silhouette.
Yeah, and it
And
doesn't make you any less of a sneakerhead. It doesn't make you any less of somebody who's in the sneaker community, whatever you want to label yourself as. I think it's frowned upon when, you go after things that not everybody likes. But that's okay. Like they're not wearing it, it's on your feet, and that's what makes this community what it is, the individuality of it.
I mean, I prefer that way. We get to pay like retail. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
instead of like resale. If you guys don't want them sevens, then I'll take them. Those Cardinal sevens. Nobody. Those
Oh
Cardinal
yeah.
sevens just sat. Nobody wanted those, but
Nope.
that's a classic
And
colorway. Like
that was a huge release when it first came out. I remember that release, and then it came out, and then nobody wanted them, and I was like, dang, okay,
that's crazy. But yeah, thank you once again, Nana. I really
no
appreciate your
problem.
support, and I hope we can do this again. Maybe season 2.
Definitely.
You know, had such a good time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You
Thank you,
too.
everybody, for watching. Thank you. All right, guys. You guys saw Nana's collection. Hella Lace was fire. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until the next one, I'll see you guys next week, episode 21. Until the next one. Deuces.